This is NASA TV.
Station, this is Dan Hewitt with NASA PAO. How do you hear me?
And Dan and NASA PAO, we hear you loud and clear. How do you hear us?
I have you loud and clear. Thanks, Kjell. All right, we will kick things off. Welcome, everyone. Thanks to our Crew-4 astronauts for taking some time to answer questions before they get ready to begin their journey home. Quick logistics, reporters on the phone bridge, remember dial *1 to be added to the queue. And if you have a question on social media, use the hashtag #AskNASA. So before we jump in, I'm going to hand it off to Crew-4 Commander Kjell Lindgren of NASA for some quick opening comments. Take it away, Kjell.
Thank you so much, Dan. Well, here we are at the end of our expedition, the end of our space station mission. We launched in late April. We've been up here for almost 6 months, and we've had an extraordinary experience under Oleg and Samantha's leadership. We've done a lot of science, taken in some amazing views, but now we're excited to get home to our families. So we are immensely grateful to all of the people that were a part of this journey, folks that helped us get trained, our partners at SpaceX and NASA and at centers all over the world that prepared us for this mission. I think that we had a great experience up here. We got a lot of good work done, and we're excited to get home. So thanks to everybody that made that possible.
All right, and thank you, Kjell. We'll jump right over to the phone bridge. Again, *1 if you want to get in the queue to ask a question. Okay, next up we have Marvin Marshall with the Nighttime News Space Report. Marvin?
Hi, good morning. My name is Marvin Marshall from the Nighttime News Space Report on Twitch.tv. This question is for all of you. When you return home here soon and think about looking outside the International Space Station, what will each of your most memorable, city or natural occurrence that you witnessed from orbit be? And thank you for everything, and we look forward to seeing you all back home shortly.
Thank you for the question. Yeah, looking out the window, of course, is just part of essential to the experience of being here in low Earth orbit. And I think all of us really enjoy looking back and looking at places where we've lived and worked, where we have friends and family. For me, there's a really cool pass that starts in the northwest and flies over Colorado, where I spent much of my undergrad and graduate school years and medical school years. I have friends and family there, and that continues on down over Houston, where my family lives now. So that's a really special pass. And then there's another pass that goes over Colorado and up to Minnesota, where I trained in emergency medicine. So those are really special. But I agree with Bob. The aurora, for me, it's spectacular, ethereal, and something that I'd love to see on the Earth sometime. But seeing it from space, flying through it, is absolutely incredible.
Yeah, I totally agree. I've got a pass, my pass, right? But I moved around a lot as a kid, and so I have a lot of those kinds of places as well. But there's one that kind of goes up just off the East Coast, and then it goes over, and then it actually touches Europe too, where there's a couple places that I've lived over there. So that's one pretty big epic pass. And during the right time of year, there's a little bit of the aurora borealis in the top end of that orbit as well. So it's pretty spectacular. But it's hard to pick just one. I think, when I'm asked questions like that, it's not just one. It's the whole idea of looking out the window, and every time, even if you fly over the same spot, it's different. The weather patterns are different, different time of year, the colors change. If there's a drought or lots of rain, that just changes the look of everything. All the surface processes that are going on all around the world are just absolutely amazing, and it just never gets old. Like, you never see the same thing twice. And so I think one of the cool things we get is this global perspective of how everything is interacting with everything else. We can see sands being blown off the Sahara, and then you start witnessing those coming into the Gulf of Mexico and then getting blown over the U.S. And so you can see stuff like that, and you can see all those different processes going together. And to me, it's the way that system of systems interact is just really, really neat.
All right, well, that's going to take us to the end of our window. Thanks, everybody, for sending in your questions. Special thanks to Kjell, Samantha, Jessica, and Bob for taking a few minutes to talk to us. Everybody head over to nasa.gov/commercial crew for the updates on their return and how you can follow their journey home. Thank you to Crew-4. We'll let you guys get back to work.
Station, this is Houston ACR. That concludes the event.
Thank you to all media participants. Station, we are now resuming operational audio communications.